now the PDC's flagship tournament for the summer is upon us, and it's back at the Winter Gardens too. The World Matchplay gets underway this weekend. Michael van Gerwen still titleless this year, but he is still the bookies' favourite with the title sponsor Betfred. But how wide open is it this year?
I mean, I can't imagine a time or remember a time when it was more wide open. Granted, I probably said the same thing last year. Michael van Gerwen was struggling, but as opposed, and let me add, because of, we were just one tournament out of the COVID break, and it was impossible to really know what type of form everyone was in heading into the World Matchplay last year. We do have a sense this time. We just saw Michael van Gerwen average, 108 in losing the final to Peter Wright. We know he's playing well, but it's not good enough to win any title so far this year. We've seen performances when it matters by pretty much half this field that if they bring it on any given day against Michael van Gerwen or against someone else, you'd expect that they would win comfortably unless their opponent throws the same thing back at him. Heading into this, Jose de Sousa, quite possibly the best player in the world right now. Johnny Clayton, not that long ago we were saying he was the best player in the world. Well, he might be going in his second match against another player that we've been saying is the best in the world because he's ranked number one at the world champion current price. All the three of those players, no one would be surprised if they went on and won this title. We haven't even gotten to Peter Wright. We haven't even gotten to James Wade. We haven't mentioned Gary Anderson, who's looking like his old self. We haven't mentioned the defending champion, Dimitri Vandenberg. And that's just to go through the seeds. There are so many players who it really wouldn't be surprising if they went on and won the title. We wouldn't bat an eye if Nathan Aspinall found his best game, like he was doing much of the Premier League, and gets a second major. We wouldn't be surprised if Michael Smith finally lifted his first major right now. He's been competitive pretty much every tournament so far this year on the Pro Tour. It is wide open because there's so many players playing well enough to win the title and nobody would be surprised. And then you throw in all those players from the Pro Tour qualifiers who are pretty darn good themselves. Michael van Gerwen might be the favorite and might deserve to be the favorite from what we've seen. But he's 9-2 for a reason because there are so many players who are playing near or better than him right now.
I'm guessing really that the bookies are looking at this tournament, and Michael van Gerwen is only one of three players that has won it more than once. Him and Phil Taylor and Rod Harrington, of course, those other two no longer playing on the circuit. So maybe looking back at the history of the event, and Michael is a winner of this event. It's been a few years since he did win the World Matchplay, won it back-to-back years, 2015 and 2016. Since then, he's had a quarter-final, first round, 2 second round. So it's not been the best hunting ground for him, but it was a good point you make. This time last year, we were kind of heading into the unknown, weren't we? It was the first event back after the pandemic on TV, the first big TV event. Matt Porter has been on this show, and he said that was one of the hardest decisions that he's made during the pandemic, was taking the World Matchplay for the first time away from the Winter Gardens in Blackpool to Milton Keynes with no fans in the building. But that is something we're going to come on to in the next question, is that the fans coming back. But as far as the field, there's a lot of quality there, isn't there? And you've got some proven winners over the last 12 months, players that have won their first big titles and players that have won recently on the floor, so are going to be coming into it with a lot of confidence. And you don't want to look too far ahead in the draw, but if you're picking someone to win the title, well, they're going to come up against a top quality player. If it's not in the first round, then it's going to be in the second round. I mean, Gerwyn Price has got the alternate Jermaine Watermina, who's come in because sadly Mensah Suljovic has had to pull out, and we wish him all the best due to medical reasons. But if Gerwyn gets through that one, Johnny Clayton or Dirk van Dijvenbode in the second round, it is a tough run from there. And even the other players as well, you get past that first round, you are going to come up against a top quality player that's coming off the back of a win. So we've got a lot of potential for some really exciting second round ties. The world champion versus the Premier League champion game we could see. We could have a repeat of that classic at Ali Pali last year, Dimitri against Dave Chisnell. Could have Michael Smith, Jose de Sousa, Gary Anderson, Nathan Aspinall, and even further down the line we could see a Jose de Sousa, Peter Wright quarter-final. We could see Gary Anderson against Michael van Gerwen in the quarterfinals. There's a lot of potential top quality matchups, and for that reason it is just so hard to pick a winner. So best of luck to anyone that is looking to back a winner for the whole week. I certainly wouldn't be putting a pound on anyone at the moment, given all the quality that we've got in the field.